Hey YouTube, it's your favorite mega church cult survivor Leah Lauder, and I'm live now. And I'm also live on TikTok, and I'm also live on Instagram as well. And I've got a really exciting topic. I was in a church cult for 18 years, and then I came to the realization that it was a cult. So you will see me, engaging with the community online and on Instagram and TikTok. Let's go live on TikTok. Welcome, TikTokers, because I can't really see the comments too tough. I will change this. Hey, Instagram, it's Leah Lauder, mega church cult survivor. Spent 18 years in a mega church cult, and now I come online and expose them. So tonight I'm going to talk about a bit of an interesting topic. And I know, I said I wasn't going to talk on this Ginger J thing, but I've been watching a lot of like think pieces and things around it, and I started to think that he's just like the typical kind of guy that ends up coming into these church cults with like so much unresolved trauma, like self-hate, HATE's his mom, and covers it with all of this fake, hyper cultural, I love my mom, all of that rubbish. And it's these type of guys that come into the church cult that don't even like black women. Do you understand what I'm saying? They come into these church cults and the demographic is mainly, like black women. And we've got men like this that don't even like black women. Do you understand what I'm saying? That will go into like full-blown marriages and relationships with women that they don't even F with. All right. So I want to get into it. Like one thing that I've noticed, because I don't know, I think he might be Ghanaian, this guy. Or is he Nigerian? But the one thing that I've noticed with especially like African men is they're really mollycoddled by their mothers. And there's a lot of like, it's just, I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying in a lot of these dynamics, they're very mollycoddled by their mom. And it can be, it can be really toxic. Like I've seen many, like mothers kind of turn their sons into their man. And this Ginger J guy, he's an exact kind of result of, these women who like mollycoddle their sons, but they're narcissists, and they raise them with really toxic traits, and they don't understand relationships, and it's really warped. And also these women overcompensate as well. So this is why he has these ideologies. I believe his mom's just like this. So I'm going to go into it because the live I did earlier was talking about pick-me's, because his mum's got to be a pick-me with this type of mindset. He's been raised by a pick-me. He hasn't been raised by a queen, because he doesn't see the black woman as a queen. So his mum's not a queen. He's got resentment. He's got HATE. And again, it's these type of women. It's the enablers. It's the narcissists. They raise these type of men because they don't love their sons. Do you understand? Remember I told you that girl that looked at me and said, she doesn't love her son. And I said, this is why we get these men that like HATE women and put hands on women and eat from the great bowl. And it's the mothering. So let's get into the psychology. I'm going to work backwards with this. Let's get into the psychology of when mothers partner their sons. So these are some of the factors that I think have come into play to produce what we see as Ginger J. That rhymes. See this beast and this monster that's been produced as a result of having an enabling mother. So emotional, INCEST, covert, INCEST, and it's also called enmeshment. This is when a parent treats a child like a pair or a partner, using them for emotional support instead of allowing them to be just a child. So this is where, the reason why I think that Ginger J has been exposed to this is because this is probably what his mum was saying to him. Do you know what I mean? About it could be other women where she's projecting self-hate. It could be the mistress. Do you understand? That's been getting her back blown out by the dad that don't want her. Do you understand what I'm saying? So again, we're seeing like this projection. The child is drawn into adult dynamics, hearing mum's complaints about dad, being her confidant, or receiving excess affection, control that blurs boundaries. And again, this is another thing that I noticed on the podcast as well. There's a lot of blurred lines and blurred boundaries. Like he doesn't understand. I know he's been in prison as well, but there's absolutely no excuse for his behavior. So we have to dig deep into Freudian psychology so we can look into the dark, warped mind of these types of individuals. Because to say something like that, you've got to be unwell, but you still have to be held accountable. So coming out with an accountability video and doing screaming the mental health card, you know, no one's going to care. The child, okay, the result, the son grows up with a distorted sense of self, believing he must protect mum, while at the same time being entitled, indulged, or overvalued. So again, it's just the reality is distorted. So he's going to have distorted ideological concepts. And so that's why he spoke to a black woman in that way, because it doesn't make any sense. Maybe his mum doesn't see herself as black. Maybe his mum's the type that bleaches. Oh my God. Maybe his mum's the type that bleaches. I guarantee you he's got one of them typical mums that bleaches. There's a lot of self-hate, because for him to have this mindset, it's his mum. Parentification, a well-documented dynamic where a child is made responsible for a parent's emotional state or even practical needs. So the son becomes the little man of the house. So what I'm saying is he gets away with anything. Because his mom's overcompensated, used him as an emotional crutch. Whatever he says, it's like it just goes. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's accepted. And then when you bring those type of like that cognitive way of thinking into wider society, it creates conflict. It creates us versus them. And in these types of like African families, it can be quite culty in nature as well. So that's why my content's been helping a lot of the young people to deconstruct into the toxicity of their families, because their families mirror and echo a lot of the false doctrine that is taught in these church cults. So similarly, you know, I'm sure this Ginger J has had a very toxic upbringing, hyper religious mother, you know, all of it. I believe that he is like the pinner post up guy who ends up giving his life and ends up in these church cults. And the very women that he HATEs, because he's got unresolved trauma, he hasn't dealt with any of this, he'll just go into one of these church cults, do you know what I mean, where this behavior will be enabled and covered with hyper religiosity. All right. And this is why a lot of these mandem in the church cult, it's dangerous, because when they get washed up and the world just like spew them out, that's when they go running back to these settings. Sons become the little man of the house. If dad is absent, abusive, or emotionally unavailable, this gives the boy a premature sense of authority, but robs him of his childhood. So again, it would be interesting. I know he's done a few interviews to see if anybody knows of his background, let me know if I'm right as well, because it is given a lot of, he must have come from a really dysfunctional upbringing to HAT himself and his mother. All right. Like that's how deep it is, because he HATs his mother, because he's an albino. Do you understand what I'm saying? So all of his family are probably a lot darker skinned, with a lot more, African, like features, etc. So again, if he's got that mum, do you know what I mean, that's bleaching, the dad that wasn't there, that was putting hands on it's very toxic. And then he looks different to all the rest of the family. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that must have created a lot of identity issues in his psyche as well, where he doesn't really feel like he's been accepted by the black community. He was probably bullied growing up as well, because I think online what we're seeing is it's probably his worst nightmare. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's probably going to resurface a lot of insecurities, a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of bullying. Do you understand what I'm saying? But this behavior just cannot be excused, because I've met this guy before. My friend's husband is his friend. Do you understand? He was at a dinner. I don't know if it was their engagement. It was so long ago, guys. And I won't take it to his spirit at all. I was just so, and it's like that vibe, like when they're like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like us black women, like we don't vibe on that frequency and wave. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, is what I'm saying making sense, guys? So it's like what he's putting out, because it's a projection. He has that self-HATE towards black women, and we are sensing it. We are picking up on that energy, and he is like that in real life, because I've met him. All right. So let's get into a bit of Freudian psychology. All right. So Freudian echoes, Oedipal, is it Oedipal? It's OEDIPAL. Minano, Oedipal dynamics. Freud theorized children unconsciously desire the opposite gender parent and rival the same gender parent. While his model is outdated in many ways, modern psychodynamics note that in enmeshed homes, so this is like the home where the mum has replaced him with the father because he's not there, maybe cheating, putting hands on her, and starts to use him as that emotional crutch. Okay, those blurred lines can look like a distorted Oedipal pattern. Mum leans on the son feels powerful, dad is fed or absent. The important thing is it's not the child's desire, but the parent's unmet needs being pushed onto the child. Guys, I'm so sorry. The thing's not the best, is it? The background. I should have made it a bit smaller. Struggling to see your comments, innit? Let me put my hand there because that will solve it. Okay. So cultural layers. Do you not have votes to collect? Ooh, what's going on in there, chair? All right. So cultured layers. How this shows up. Oh, let me try and put... Guys, can you see the comments more when the cover's like that? Yeah. There we go. That solved it. Cultural layers. How this shows up in African context. Survival in patriarchy. Many women in West African and diaspora contexts are silenced or abused by husbands. Sons become the only safe males to lean on, so mothers substitute them for the affection, validation, and loyalty they lack in their marriage. So again, it's going back to the single married wives, the pick-me-shas, and the Barbara the Builders. I know he's been raised by a Barbara the Builder and the pick-me because he doesn't see his mum as a black queen. Do you know what I mean? That's why I had to make the decision to leave my ex-husband, because there's no way my daughters are going to be on TikTok making TikToks like, oh, if it had meant that my mum didn't have me so that she could have her life. And, you know, if only my mum didn't have, you know what I mean? And talking about the trauma and, you know, I wish my mum had picked herself, and I'll pick myself now, babe. You lot won't understand it. Do you get what I'm saying? But when you get older, you're going to put some respect on my name. It's when the people get older. It's the trauma. It's the trauma from childhood. Queen Innes in the cut. And this is what we're seeing in Ginger J. This is absolute trauma. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, she's raised a monster. And this is what a lot of these women, these hyper-religious women, they're the most WICKED women that you could find. So a part of me does feel a bit of empathy for him because I know that he's got a mother like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, them EVIL women, if the man doesn't get a good woman that can mother him, that can give him like that mother's love, they just end up finished. And usually it's a black woman that can do that. Any woman can, but, you know, really understanding the cultural dynamics, like it would take, you know, a really special snow bunny. And I'm not saying that they're not out there, because they are out there. Some of the whitey gal them are more woke than black women themselves. Oh, guys, I'm trying to do up the cover thing, man, because I don't want to take this off. Can you not see the comments better like that? Sorry, guys. All right, let me just put my finger there. All right. Guys, are you finding this topic really interesting? So everything they lack from the marriage, they use their sons. Do you understand what I'm saying? To like get the validation, the emotional, and it becomes a very warped, distorted, very perverse relationship. And this is why he talks to women like that, because that's how he talks to his mum. Don't you see? Because it's like, it's not like son and mother. It's like her man and mum. So he probably really gets into it with his mum. Do you know what I mean? That's why dad left you. And I could imagine him being really disgusting like that. Mollycoddling, indulgence, sons, especially the first sons, and especially in like these diasporas when they've got the first sons. This is why a lot of them don't understand. No, do you understand what I'm saying? Because the mums mollycoddled them, and they don't correct the son. Ooh, thanks, Alex. Alex just gifted me. Thanks, baby. How are you, my love? There's blurred lines. They just get away with all the types of behavior. Do you know what I mean? The mum mollycoddles them. They're enablers of ABUSE. Even when their son's putting hands on the woman, you know, because they have that culture in there where it's like especially the eldest son, and then the dad hasn't been around, they kind of see the guy as the head. There's the first son as the head of the home. So what happens is it's like it's very warped, because the son, the mom's given the son like this very powerful dynamic within the family, where, so say like they have a wife or they have a baby mom or whatever, and they fall out. It's like this, the mother will abuse the woman with the son. There's no common sense. Do you understand what I'm saying? So she can't even be like a mediator for the relationship. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because she doesn't even love herself. Hey Paris, she doesn't even love herself. So she believes that, you know, that wife or that girlfriend or whatever, she should have stayed in that toxic abuse relationship. Do you know what I mean? Because she's been that, like, her husband's been putting hands on her for her whole life. So it's like, oh, yeah, put hands on you. So why did you leave? Why have you left? They wear abuse as the crown. So that's why Ginger J can come into these settings and just abuse black women, because that's what he does to his mum. Don't you see? A mother may never hold him accountable because she sees him as her protector, her pride, or even her ticket to social mobility, education, success abroad. Also, I want to say that because the sons have been there for the mums, do you understand what I'm saying? It's like they feel like a guilt. It's like they've been there for them like no one else. Do you get what I'm saying? So they can't do no wrong in their eyes, boy. And that is dangerous. That type of behavior creates ginger jays within these communities, okay? This produces what some psychologists call the golden child. Inflated ego, no boundaries, but deep hidden shame. Also, because he's albino, I could see his mum like overcompensating for that because he looks different as well. And so what we saw was like, it's like he's a female, because when they're mollycoddled and they're taught to be like, you know, man of the house, they can't handle that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like hyper masculinity. They don't know how to be raised as a man. So they behave more like women because the mum has mollycoddled him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like kept her in her bosom and nest. Yeah, he's been emasculated. Thanks, Miss Blacklisted. That's exactly what's happened. He's been emasculated. So what we see is this burst of like hyper masculinity. But what it looks like is like a blown up big child that's having a tantrum, like throwing all of his toys out of the pram, because that's how his mum has raised him. Do you understand what I'm saying? To like get his own way, to, you know what I mean? She's quite the enabler, his mum. I can just see her as that auntie who bleaches. Do you know what I mean? Like everything's so fake. Like, do you know what I mean? Because the son is never wrong. So we're going to look at enabling cycles. Because the son is never wrong. And I want women to know that when you raise your son like this, you raise your son up to fail. You raise your son up to fail, because now you've got the whole world laughing at this guy thinking, oh my gosh, this is self-hate. Everyone's laughing at our community. Because the son is never wrong. He grows up expecting women to tolerate and enable his behavior, just like his mother did. Women in church spaces then continue that cycle by excusing male aggression or failure while punishing women who step out of line. So again, we see these same misogynistic patriarchal rhetorics within these type of families where he gets away with that behavior. Especially because he's that color. Like, you know, like a lot of dark-skinned women are attracted to lighter-skinned men. And I think sometimes some of these men, you've got to be careful with them, because sometimes they date women because of like the insecurity that they think that black women has, and then they break. And then, can you not see the comments? Is the cover thing in it? And then they break down the women. They then try to break down the women. Do you know what I mean? To dim their light because they're insecure. That's what these ginger jays are like. And a lot of the majority of the black men in these church cult spaces will be like this. All right. Especially the monks and the porsters. That's why everything is whitey coded in the church cult. There's a lot of internalized acism and what they worship IT supremacy in a lot of the African diasporas, because they were force-fed religion and they haven't healed from their trauma. And do you know what I mean? They make everything hyper religious. The toxic outcomes, fragile masculinity. So he can't take criticism because mother never allowed him to face the consequences. So again, you know, wrapped in cotton wool, always defending him, even when he's in the wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? So he went on national TV to go and embarrass himself. But the one who should really be embarrassed should be his mother. Yeah. Misogyny and entitlement. He expects women to comfort, mother, or tolerate him. It's also excuse the behavior because that's what his mum did. His mum is an enabler. Split view of women. He idolizes mum but despises other women, especially if they don't serve him the same way. So again, there's that resentment. He's just messed up in the subconscious psyche, chair. Difficulty with intimacy. So I believe that someone like Ginger J would struggle to please a black woman in bed. That's what I believe. And so I think he would struggle in that area. I also think that what's happened is when he's gone into intimate relationships with women and stuff, I just don't think he's been able to please a black woman. And again, I think that because he doesn't you know, what's the word? He doesn't make the cut. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because his mum's mollycoddled him and made him a bitch. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's why we see this behavior. He's intimidated by a melanin queen's energy because he never had one that raised him. So instead of him feeling comfortable and building a queen up, and he breaks her down because that's how his mum has seen herself, and she's allowed her son to become like her man. Mollycoddled him, and this is why we see this display. So they have difficulty he has difficulty with intimacy. Real adult relationships feel threatening because they demand reciprocity and vulnerability, not one-sided worship. So again, do you see that the mum's overcompensated because she made him her man? This is what I think happened. And so then it's just praise all the time. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like he's been there for her, his emotional crutch. So she's got like a soft spot for him. So that brings in that psychological concept of like, you know, like the golden child. So he just feels like he can go anywhere and just say whatever he wants. Like there's no thinking before he speaks. Survive a friendly way of explaining this. So this is a friendly way for me to break down and explain this. Guys, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm awfully tired tonight. So I don't think I'm gonna stay on for much longer. I think I'm just gonna do some of my reflections, and I might give you an overview of what I'm going to be discussing today because I am absolutely exhausted. So some African mums, especially when the father is abusive or absent, end up pulling their sons into the role of husband. They share secrets, protect each other, and the boy gets put on a pedestal. But instead of being taught responsibility, he's smothered and told he can do no wrong. That boy grows up expecting women to mother him the way his mum did. In church, those same patterns get reinforced. Women are told to submit. Men are excused for their behavior, and the cycle keeps turning. Understanding this doesn't blame mums alone, but it shows how patriarchy and trauma twist family roles in ways that damage everyone and wider society. And then we all come out as the black woman and we say, nah, this ain't right. What you're saying and what you're doing ain't right. And we're not having it. But he's not used to that. He hasn't got a queen. He's not used to seeing his mom. Do you know what? If he came from an environment where his dad was abusive, emotionally, physically, whatever, and then the mom would slag off the dad to him, tell him all about the stuff, and then he would just be thinking, oh yeah, the dad's gone now. It's just going to be me and mum. And then he comes back from school and the dad's there, just finished blowing out his mum's back. Can you imagine the psychological torment of him having that HATE towards his dad because his mum's chatting their personal business to her small child that's not even ready to process that. His brain hasn't even fully functioned, discussing affairs and, you know, side chicks and women and all that. And then he's got to listen in his room to his dad blowing out his mum's back. And then if the dad was putting hands on his mum and he couldn't do anything from young, he's not going to learn to respect his mother. How is he going to learn to respect his mother and the black female? How? If that's what his raising was like. And then when he gets into any relationship, he's going to be expecting a woman to fix him or a woman to again be an enabler. And because black women were just not really raised like that, it's just the severely indoctrinated. He definitely resents himself because he wasn't born one himself, so he wears wigs, etc. What do you mean, girl? What do you mean he wears wigs? To be honest, he most likely is on the DL as well. Do you know what I mean? A lot of man them who behave like this, speak like this, present themselves like this, they're usually on the DL. And it's really hard to come out in African communities as well. So we see like a lot of, he's just angry. He's angry at himself. He's angry at the world. He probably can't walk in his true authenticity, because that would probably mean him, you know, walking in full LGBTQ plus men. Also, I think there's been, I don't know if this guy was essayed as a child. I'm getting that as well. He might have been, essayed like by a family member, by a child, as a child. I don't know, because there's just a lot of dysfunctionality in this. It's even, you know, like he's given disorganized attachment, because the self-hate is just, I've never seen anything like it, chair. And I've seen men, you know, like on these podcasts, like come for black women, like do this, that, but never in the way that he did it. It was just, it was like, it was so, it was just, it was like his buttons had been pressed, and it was just like this vomiting of just like years of pent up frustration and trauma. It was just vomit, like all over. Like even the girl at first was just like shocked. And I saw an interview with Castillo, and I want to say big him up. And that guy's been through a lot. Do you know what I mean? He's been through so much. I don't even think he knows who his dad is or whatever. But because he's had like that mother's love, that's why I said to you that them that are on the roads here, like GMs, like all of them, you can tell the difference between the ones who have had a mother's love. You know, like the mums that won't give up on their child. They go to the when they get arrested, they try and go and speak to the school. They try and do everything they can. Do you understand? Like my brother, and my brother always said like that's where he saw the difference between men that don't have a mother's love. And my brother's been in and out of jail since he's been 16 years old. But what hasn't made my brother totally get effed up is that he's got a mother's love. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like when it's his birthday, we'd send him cards, we go down and support him. My mum has loved him through everything. So if you don't have when these guys don't have a mother's love, they turn out so messed up. And there's a lot of these type of man them that come into these church cult settings. And when they get a woman, they absolutely ABUSC them. Another thing that happens as well is because of the unresolved trauma and complicated grief, what happens is they just put a bandage on the trauma. So when they go into these spaces, they cover everything with hyper religiosity. So they marry the enabler that's been trained and groomed to be that way because their mother was just the same. Do you see that it's these perpetuating reoccurring cycles? Cutie, do you understand what I'm saying? So when they go into the marriage now, they're shut down. They can't handle intimacy. So the wife's not getting her back blown out, but the environments are endorsing this behavior because the pastors and the mogs are exactly the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? I didn't have a mother's love either. Black women literally favoritize their son. Oh, I'm so sorry, babe. My heart goes out to you. And he said, but do you see us doing it? Oh, and it's true. And that's why I'm not excusing his behavior, because I'm a mega church cult survivor. Do you understand what I'm saying, babe? So I'm highlighting this so that gal them that are in these spaces can get some knowledge and open their blood clot eyes. Because a lot of the reason why their husband's not blowing out their back is because they're not their type. How about that? They're not their blood clot type. A lot of the marriages have been arranged. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of man them like Ginger J. They'll have intimacy issues. That's why I think I'll connect all of this because my cult did imagine they did a service on erectile dysfunction. You lot, I've known of man them in the church cult that have been taking Viagra at 28 years old. These are young, strong men that have just recently got married. And this is what I need to do the live on tomorrow, because someone like him, all the trauma, his libido, because trauma, it affects them. Do you know what I mean? Through actual experiences, because he might have had, like, someone might have essayed him, something might have happened to him in jail, like this and that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And because of the hyper masculinity, it's like they feel like they have to show their masculinity through intimacy. And so there's that, he could have had really traumatic experiences with black women. I think it's the bullying. I think he was bullied as a child in school. And I think it was mainly black women because he probably looked a lot different when he was younger as well. He's probably grown into his, you know, into self more. But could you imagine what it would be like being, you know, a young albino with ginger hair? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be a lot for him to work through that. And then and then again, I'm not saying he does, but if he's got a mum who bleaches, for example, that's gonna, and then all of his other siblings are dark skinned, there's gonna be a lot of warped, internalized, individualizations of color and race, and it's gonna be really warped. And then if he's got that extra layer, hey, my Queen Ange, if he's got that extra layer of like a narcissistic father that's just been abusing his mum throughout his whole life, I mean, that is, you know, Ginger J represents a lot of a lot of these guys that come from this country with these enabling mothers. Remember I said to you, like, with the Nigerian men, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I think I need to do a bit of deconstruction around this as well, because there's a lot of colorism within that culture. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie, I know I can get what I want because of that. And why not? Because they're idiots. Do you get what I'm saying? If that's how you think and you're gonna pay me because you see me as a Bronny or Imbo, why am I? Let me get this money. Are you all right? Minakir. I won't be dating you. I won't be taking you seriously. I'll just be finessing you. I'll just rinse you out because I've got two different color daughters. One of my daughters is like Faith Evans, red skin, and one of my other daughters is darker skin. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's darker than me. So I don't play all of that. I don't like the colorism. I don't like the, do you know what I mean? Because these men then think they can come and talk to me in a way where, like, with their colorist, internalized Asa, and I go to literally put hands on them because I've got a daughter that's darker skinned here. So you're talking about my child. When you're talking about darker skinned women, you're talking about me, because I am one with my little girl. And these type of men and that type of rhetoric with my child growing up in society, that's when you're gonna get a mother like me, babe. Do you know what I mean? That's gonna cut, like, because if you're gonna this is what I have to do, because this is how, like, and it's not even about, do you know what it is, guys? This is why I haven't even spoken on the topic, because I didn't even want to give it this energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's like we have been through so much as Black queens throughout slavery, just in society, the intersectionality. We experience discrimination on so many different intersectional levels. Because if there's a gal that's a lesbian and there's one Black and there's one white, the girl who is a Black woman is going to experience so much more discrimination on so many different levels, because just coming out as LGBTQ plus within her community, having to go and sit down and tell her mum and dad, she might get they might disown her. Thanks for the heart, me. And so you know, like, Polly, do you get what I'm saying? She comes out to her family and they're all like, oh, just be yourself, love. We've always known it. We were just waiting for your love to come out and tell us. You know, Ajua goes to tell uncle and auntie that she is LGBTQ plus. Hey, that is devils. What have we done wrong? Where did we go wrong with you? We got you to all the good schools. We got you to come over from back home. We gave you the best of everything. And this is what the Lord has done to us. The devil is a liar. And instead of the mum dealing with the trauma and unpacking some of the stuff that her child's going through and being an emotional support and whatever, what does she do? Go into this hyper religiosity, shuts down, starts going into her prayer closet and praying. The child can't even communicate with the mother, silenced. And that's the whole issue. And they can't speak to the parents. Do you understand what I'm saying? So again, the Black woman, we face so many, like, I mean, like, you know, like, we've got, like, we can't go into certain workplaces with braids. Black women have had to fight to be able to be in corporate workspaces with braids, which is literally a hairstyle. Like, our hair is so hard to manage, especially being in this Eurocentric society. And back in our day, we couldn't get nothing. That's why I say, like, all of these gal them with your wigs, and I'm sorry, you just really don't have no chat for me. I'm so sorry. Because we used to have to do weave. Like, it was the hair. Like, you see that leave out that you had? If you didn't have good hair, chair, that's just, like, it's on you, chair. Because we didn't have wigs. We didn't have that. That was just the celebs that had the lace wigs, the HD wigs, like Beyonce and whatever. We used to see it in the videos. We never used to have access to that. So there's been a bit more of an equilibrium. But historically, and gal them, this is why I was saying to the black gal them, like, love yourself, innit? Learn to love yourself and the skin that you're in. Take care of your hair. If you're doing up wigs, that's okay. Do you get what I'm saying? Because my natural hair is beautiful. I love my natural hair, but I do the braids to protect it. That's why when my hair comes out, it's like my glory. Like everyone's like, wow. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And it's not, my hair's not the longest. It's not the whatever, but the love that I pour into self and into my hair and the time that I pour into self. So my braids are my covering. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like my braids are my literal covering. I cover my crown. My hair is my crown. And black hair is so beautiful. Like I've made a point because my two girls, again, they've got different texture hair. They've got different length hair. I've put in so much work to love my children so that they love the skin that I'm in. Did you see what I sent you? No, I've just woken up and come straight onto the live, Tony Lee. I was sleeping all day. That whole situation with her absolutely drained me out. Seeing my child in distress. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to check it out. Have you sent me something? So, guys, it's just the MESS, but one thing that I would say, because we have to look at the glass half full and not half empty. I love the way that, Black queens have come together, united and all been on the same page. But a lot of women haven't. I just think that the Black queens are so woke now. They're just going to be sending bad intentions his way. That's why he got fired. Don't play with the Black queen. Like, we're not the ones, baby. Especially the ones that are woke, like spiritually and are into spiritual practices. Do you understand what I'm saying? And understand like the karmic laws of the universe and things like that. You shouldn't be playing with queens like that. Like queens that practice hoodoo, voodoo, all of that. You want to come with your big mouth and be doing up this, that, and that towards Black women. That's why now look at what's happened to you, baby. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have any work. And you know what? I think he really needs to deal with his childhood trauma. If anyone knows this ninja, tell him he needs to wake up out of this distorted reality that he's in, because he doesn't love his mum. He hates JT's his mum. He needs to stop saying, oh, the queen, my mum, because I saw in his little bit afterwards where he was kicking completely off and he's like, my mum's a queen. It's all words, word salad. That's why man them like this. How much do you want to bet that Ginger J turns his life to Christ in a couple of years and rebrands himself as a pastor? How much do you want to bet? That's why I'm saying you won't find me in these spaces, Chair. You won't find me in these spaces, because what I'm starting to realize is all the people that turn to hyper religiosity, they're people that just don't want to deal with the trauma. They don't want to put the work in, because it's easier to say the devil is a liar than, I have this disorganized attachment because my dad, was putting hands on my mum and he left. And then I ended up joining a high control group where they use a transcendental belief system, and then a thought reform program through the Lifton's thought. They don't, that takes reading, studying, so what we're left with is ignorance. And Galdem, do you know what? I think we are really going to have to start exploring the YT Mandem, I'm not even joking, because even when I've seen like the comments and the way the YT men are speaking, and it just seems like they're just more woke and more balanced than certain of our kings, because they've internalized it. If they're not saying it, they've internalized it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when they're marrying women, they're marrying a lave. They're not like marrying the one that they really want. Are you understanding? There's a lot of, and guys, I'm not going to lie, this is going to feel overwhelming, because it's like all of our dirty washing is just out. It's just all hung up for us to see right now. And I think with the Black community, I think right now we're just dealing with a lot of self-fulfilling prophecy, epigenetics through, comorbid, generational, cyclical patterns of trauma that have carried on into many, lineages. And then when we bring religion into it, it just further exasperates it and makes the women more vulnerable, more DUMB. That's why I said, I think tomorrow what I'll do is, the content where the uncle goes around and he's like, he's a comedian and he's pretending to put like judge on all the aunties and uncles, and they're running and it's like, it's funny, but it's not funny, guys, because if someone did that to my 11-year-old, she would look at them like, are you okay? Like, do you need mental health professional support? Are you, these kids are so smart, like this generation. But we've got a 50 or 60-year-old man and woman that is running in the street and screaming. There was one where he made the phone like that, the phone sound that it makes when money's come out of your account. and he actually made this auntie believe that money had left her account. She didn't even check it. She didn't even. They're so naive because of the. It's not naivety. It's cognitive dissonance. Because a lot of these aunties and uncles, the ones that he's targeting, are ones that are like in religious psychosis, or they're disassociated and cognitive dissonance. The fear-based programming in these church cults, it makes them really paranoid. So they don't act like normal people. So that's when we see like the hyper religiosity, the hyper vigilance, the religious psychosis in them running down the street. And even when the guy's telling them it's a skit, it's for my TikTok, it's that there's still, you can still hear the hurling of the devil is a liar, you know, you're going to go to HEOR. They start to go into this hyper religiosity, and it's so sad. So if you know you come from this type of background, just free yourself. Like when I'm in the car with my kids and we're dancing and we're singing and we're joking, and you know, and I'm seeing like all of the black girls, you know, from the school, and I'm just feeling so sad for them, because when you see these women, they've got it all wrong. The stricter you are, the more disciplined you are, the more stifled your child feels. And then when you don't educate them on certain things and you're not their BFF, that's when they'll go and like get their back blown out, not have love for themselves, think they're big women. Because then it's like they're so controlled in the home setting that when they go outside, they just want to be free. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying a lot of these gal them that are in the church, that's why I'm saying a lot of them are 304s, retired 304s. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they don't get any, there's no balance. Like when they're at home as well, it's just high control, high control. So for me, what I'm really trying to do is create this very just, I don't know how to explain it, creative, autonomous, very free environment where my kids can just be. And that they feel so open, like I'm myself. Like I apologize to my kids, like I have that friendship and that relationship with my children. Do you know what I mean? Where they see my mistakes and I apologize for my mistakes. When I started doing the shadow work and I realized that I was projecting onto my children, what I started to do was I started to apologize to them and explain that it's projection. Sweetheart, this is projection. The reason why mummy was upset with the comment on the car is because, you know, I've had a really hard time rebuilding my life and I've lost everything. Do you know what I mean? So the comment on the car, that was because mummy doesn't feel like she's done good enough for you. So that's a projection. So I had to apologize, then explain to my child why I did that so that they can understand it's not them. This is a mummy issue. This is a mental health issue. This is because of things that I haven't dealt with. It's not about you, sweetheart. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like really making my kids understand that they are not the issue. Like, so they don't internalize that. I'd rather them see me as a mess and understand that that's a mummy issue. It's not a you issue, because I'm taking accountability as the parent. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is where a lot of the kids, especially in the church cult, they've lacked that. So what's happened is they've had this hyper vigilant, hyper religious, spiritually psychotic, so unwell mother who doesn't love themselves. They don't know how to be queens. They don't know how to be taught to do anything. So when they come into these settings, it's so easy for them to manipulate these girls. And then they just end up and fall prey to the most EVIL, wicked first ladies and wogs in their life. And they just take all of the ABUSE because that's what they're used to. Do you understand? Have you not seen that clip that's going viral of that pastor, the pastor's wife? And I think her TikToking, you shared it. And basically she rebuked the woman publicly and said that the woman hugged her differently today. And she said, like, she just started rebuking the woman. The woman just, I rate her though. She dealt with that so gracefully. She just threw the mic on the floor and walked out. And then the husband came to enable it. So what I'm going to be doing with that video is I'm going to be showing you when women wear the trousers in the relationship, and when the ex-husband has been having like, you know, like an emotional affair with the church, the congregation. So the wife does not get corrected. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when it's the role reversal, do you see what I'm doing? Because now the husband is in his feminine energy and the wife is in her masculine energy. So the wife wears the trousers. So we see a role reversal where the husband who's in the feminine energy is being an enabler to the wife in her masculine energy, because he's been having an emotional affair with the church. He's probably had affairs. So he can't like be against the wife because she gets away. She gets full reign, like tyrannical reign of the church and the congregation. She can do whatever she wants. These are the type of women that will ruin churches because they're just rude to all the women. They're jealous. There's a lot of projection, a lot of self-hate. And because those women have been enablers to the men, do you understand what I'm saying? They see them as, oh, they've been there for me. They've dealt with my prolific cheating. Hey, Forex. Oh, thank you. Someone said, my God, so true. Do you understand? And guys, please, if what I'm saying has resonated with you tonight, follow my main account, Leah Lord 7, because I can't get to 10K to get a playlist feature where all of my content is organized. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get me off the internet. I've got 8 accounts just to speak my truth. This is one of my backups. So if what I'm saying has really resonated and, you know, like it's going to help you, like there's self-realizations that have really helped you, like support the ting, support your home girl. And it's just Leah Lauder 7, okay? Let me log into it because I've got 39 people. I'm going to log in from my main account if I've got it on here. I don't think oh yeah, I have. So that you guys can see the account that I'm talking about. But again, it's just a reoccurring pattern and cycle of self-hate. That's all it is. And so what we've seen is a generation of women. This is where the cycle's changing. We've seen is a generation of women. This is where we've seen a generation of women who are saying, no, actually, I'm going to love myself. I'm going to choose myself. I'm not going to put up with the ABUSE. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we've broken the cycles. Like I clocked, if I stay in this marriage, I'm not going to be able to mother my kids. There might be a bit of feedback. Is that all right? I'm not going to be able to mother my kids. Guys, this is the account. Could you please follow it, guys? Because my mental health is being affected by this relationship. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But it's like, because in these environments, like they really do teach the kids that like marriage is the best option. Like you stay in those relationships, it doesn't matter. So because women are just in abusive relationships, the children grow up in those households. And then another thing is they don't like contact like local authority, and they're very good at masking and covering up the ABUSE because like everything's about like reputation. So these kids will go to school like with the best equipment. A lot of the time, the parents are quite well to do as well. It's the wealthy ones. Because remember I told you about that family that ended up unaliving their son because he was just having a mental health breakdown, guys, maybe schizophrenia or some sort of psychosis or whatever. He was hearing voices, whatever. They locked him in the house for 3 days, had him tied up, was doing all of these casting out demons, getting people to come from the church cult, this, that, and the third. And he was severely dehydrated. He wasn't eating. He deteriorated and ended up unaliving. By the time the ambulance got there, he was pronounced unalive on site. So again, do you see how they've turned to hyper-religiosity? And they were very wealthy. They didn't want the shame. This guy was a guy working in top finance bank, you know. I've got a lot of content to do, Chair, this week. And again, we see that has resulted in like the negligence, the cognitive dissonance. It's gone that far that it's resulted in someone being unalived. Yeah. So there's more extreme examples. Another one is like, hey, Carlo, a lot of these arranged marriages as well, Chair. Oh my gosh, these women. Do you know how many women I get messaging me, Leah? I'm in a psychologically abusive relationship. If I leave him, and again, do you see it's going back to the family? My family are not going to understand. Hey, Carlo, a lot of you gal them that are like come from this diaspora, you know what you need to do? You need to IDGAF. That's why I was telling you, look, you need to not cur. You need to not cur. That's the only way you can walk in your true authenticity. Do you understand what I'm saying? The only way you can walk in your true authenticity is not caring like I'm ignoring this idiot that's on Instagram. Do you understand what I'm saying? Go and make some money, brother. It doesn't matter what time of the night it is. Right now, instead of you commenting, you could be making some peas. This is why I'm talking about you lot, because you're broke and you're in survival mode and you project on your wives and you don't blow out your wives back. All right, my love? So go and check that. And then afterwards come back and have some chat for me. The men in the church cult, the reason why all of my lives and everything was getting locked off before is because it's just a real bitch energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like they are like females. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's that feminine energy when it comes in my lives. That's what they talk. They get this reaction out of me. It's like how I would be with a gal. Because if you're a man and you're getting this reaction on me to the point where I want to put hands on you, then you're acting feminine, babe. You're acting like a gal. You're acting like a princess. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Yeah. So again, what we have to really look at, and I want another thing that I want to say as well is because a lot of the men in these church cult settings is fake hyper masculinity. Yeah, because the men, a lot of the mogs and whatever, they're DL, they're very feminine. So they have these warped ideologies of hyper masculinity, which is toxic masculinity. That's what they have in there, yeah. So what happens is when they get into the marriage, like I'm gonna use Mrs. You know, the Mr. and Mrs. record, that woman is so masculine, it's unreal. It's whenever I see her, it's like and then I know she's coming from being a lesbian and whatever, but it's just giving very butch. When the husband comes on, he's very feminine, and and it's like, again, these are the same dynamics that we see in the church cult, and we don't question it. Like, that guy is clearly LGBTQ plus, and they always go for these type of women, do you know what I mean, that aren't the most desirable. They don't really look after themselves. They have more of a masculine energy than a feminine energy, because you've got to remember, it's just that masculine energy that they're attracted to. It's the masculine energy. And the same thing with Blueface. I'm sure Blueface is also DL. Do you know what I mean? Like, because Krishan's very masculine. It's like being with a man. Do you get what I'm saying? So again, and he didn't put her in her feminine energy. He put her in her masculine energy, because that's what I think he's attracted to. Like, a woman can be in her masculine energy because of her survival instincts, her fight or flight survival mode, her whole life, dysfunctional upbringings, and then she can meet a guy and he brings her into her feminine energy. So I'm not saying that all masculine women, you can, because with me, I like the masculinity in me, though, because I'm such a pretty face. If I didn't have this masculinity, men would use and abuse me, like most pretty women get used and abused. But I'm ready to put hands on anyone. I'm ready. I don't care. I've got fight in me. That's what I'm saying. I'm not just gonna go down like that. I will tell a ninja, like, I don't want a man. Like, one guy today, he was trying to chat to me. I said, bro, I'm not interested. I don't, I'm not. I just tell them, man. I just tell them straight up. I don't care. I don't care. So it's like, you see the pretty face, you think da 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 da, but I'm not. It's not. That's not what we're doing up. That's not what we're doing up. So there needs to be that yin and yang. And what happens is, a lot of the gal them are vulnerable, because they come into these spaces and it's all like, like Angel. And those are the type of gal that get taken advantage of, end up getting SA'd in these environments, end up getting rinsed out and exploited. Do you get it? And so what I always say, and I'm going to finish up on this, what I always say, guys, is me coming from the roads is the only reason why I didn't get SA'd and used and abused in that setting. That's it. That's it. I'm not talking about gal them that have had their back blown out by man them, been abused, been rejected, I'm talking about, like, I've really been, like, raised and grew by GMs. Do you understand what I'm saying? So my survival instincts and mechanism, if somebody comes towards me, like, even to come and put their hands on me, my survival instinct is going to be to either knock you out or to grab you. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the gal them that were brought up in these environments, do you know what I mean? Like, their mums mollycoddled them, wrapped them in cotton wool. They got narcissistic parents. They haven't taught them about their bodily organs, what happens. They don't even know how babies are made at 15, 16 years old. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're so, like, disconnected. You've got gal them in there, frigid, frail, wouldn't hurt a fly, don't know nothing about nothing, never had experiences with men. And then it's men like that in these church cult spaces that eat from the great bowl. There are women like this who have come from these backgrounds and they've been totally abused in the setting. Only slept with like 2 men in their life. The pastor that ate from the great bowl, and then their husband that also ended up being abusive towards them. And these are the women that they're painting as Jezebels and this and that and witches. And guys, it's absolutely toxic. Absolutely toxic. So this hyper masculinity, this toxic masculinity in these church cult spaces, and I think one of the other reasons is because remember I said to you that, like, the human race, I feel like we've gone through like an upgrade with the kids that have come. Like my kids are like 11, 8. I don't know, what is it, Alpha X? That generation, they are like a sophisticated. They're so smart. I just don't know what's going on. So the reality is, these mogs and these, like, Pentecostalism's not going to survive, because now everyone's laughing at it. It's a laughing stock and a joke. So the only people you're going to get going to these settings are just people with absolute trauma, people who are in the gutter. Do you know what I mean? Like, people who are, it's out of deleting themselves or being in these settings, because they are unalive to self, guys. They're a shell of themselves. Do you know what I mean? They're just there's nothing in them, and a lot of the men are broke. A lot of the men are low income. They're on like minimum wage, or they're low earners. So the only time they get to be in this, like they can be like in toxic masculinity, because they've got big egos, but they don't get a chance to demonstrate that big ego because they're packing boxes in the night, or they're working in Tesco, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then when you come in the setting where you're giving someone all this power, even if it's over 20 people, do you get what I'm saying? Like someone like that can they can barely read or write or articulate themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? The most dangerous kind of mogs are the ones that operate in the spirit, like prophetically speaking, and they've got like undiagnosed like neurodivergence. Like Anya Kapoor is a good example, like undiagnosed neurodivergence, whatever. And so they've adapted coping mechanisms and survival skills and mechanisms throughout life, because they might have like learning difficulties, may not be able to read or write. So those are the guys that become like the class clowns, for example. And that's how Onyekar childhood friends that were in school with him described him, as having something, not like having learning needs. Okay, so what happens is they turn into the swindlers of the faith, and they usually have the backdoor ghetto ass church cults. Okay, and so they use like manipulation. They're like dodgy car salesmen. Like you see Onyekar, he's got the gift of the gab. He can sell anything. He can talk for England, because that's how he's learned how to survive, because he's not academic. So they have to be, like deceptive and cunning. And do you understand what I'm saying? So those type of man, they're usually more entrepreneurial. So a man like Onyekar, he's all about the money. He actually said to a childhood friend in Brixton that he wants to become a pastor because that's where the money's at. All right. He's going to do it for the money. So we know that he's done it for the money. But unfortunately, because I've put all of this information into the airwaves and into the collective consciousness of us has heightened, because I'm that bitch. I always have been. Like, I make things that aren't popular. Like the clothes I wear, if someone else wore that, they'd look like a mess. But I can put anything together and make it look good. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just because of how I see myself. I've just always thought I'm that girl, and I don't care about jealous women. And jealous women that want to get it cracking, we can get it cracking. Do you know what I mean? You can be jealous and look afar, or you can be jealous because I'm going to tell you that you're jealous, and I'm going to tell you that you're projecting. I'm going to tell you that you're a hater, and if you don't like it, let's get it cracking. Let's like line it up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like let's go. But if you don't, then stop watching. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like that's the energy that I possess. So we have to really, like, coming out of these environments, guys, we got. So that's why I was saying, like everybody knows Wagwan now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I've set the trend. Like everybody's talking about it. Everybody's coming out now, empowered, like chatting about their experiences, like this, that, and the third. Yeah, so he's gone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you get me, like these people in the mega church cults. It's like you could do what you want. You could chat my name inside your self-sealing system and within your denomination. Everybody's going to agree with you because you're all brainwashed and it's all an echo chamber. But as soon as you come out of that environment, my love, anyone is going to tell you, from professors to psychologists to experts to clinicians, everybody is going to side with me. No one's going to side with your devil is a liar, witches, warlocks. Because when devil comes, did the devil come? No one's going to side with y'all. They're going to side with the educated woman that has the evidence-based research, the gold standard evidence-based research. I'm doing a systematic review, babe. What's your birth they're going to come and give you? Word salad? This is what I'm saying. Like in this day and age, we're going with facts, babe. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like they don't even understand what faith is. They've manipulated people to see faith as like this. It's like this obedience and subservience to the cult leader, to the mob. So people are not even operating in true faith. That's why they're not getting any real breakthroughs. They're just getting the bare minimum that is granted to you. Baby, if you work, you're going to get a tax rebate. That's not a testimony. If you are a woman and you've got a punani, you're going to get a husband. That's no blessing from the Lord, babe. These man them will blow out any woman's back. They don't care. It's very easy to get a man. Men are easy, love. So when you get them are coming like, I've got a man, I've got a husband, it's not an accomplishment. It's not, it just shows that he chose you because you're DUMB, because men are very easy, my love. You can sleep with, especially the married ones. The married ones are the easiest. All right, my love. So if I were you, I'd just focus on what you're doing up outside and home, because you single married wives become too comfortable. And then gal them like me who love myself, invest in myself. Your man is looking at me with, he's got dribble coming out of his mouth. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like he's looking at me like I'm Beyonce, like a celebrity, because you don't love yourself so much that when the women come out, like we're seen as glamorous like this, but we're just in our feminine energy. This is how women are supposed to be. But you're not even doing your hair. You look a mess. You're running around. You're up and down. There's no time because you're mothering that man. Do you know what I mean? You're doing absolutely everything. So now you look like Molly the maid and you're rinsed out. Do you understand? And that man is no longer attracted to you, and he's treating you like the maid, because that's what you're doing. He's treating you like the mom. You hear these married guys speak like, oh, yeah. Oh, she's a right sort, ain't she? Oh, don't let my missus hear me. Don't let my missus hear me say that. Oh, she's a bit of all right. They're just so desperate. There's so much desperation. And it's like the women have such low self-esteem, and they've got no love for themselves, that it's like they're sitting down with the man and enabling that behavior. Oh yeah, but I ain't shape married to you and got 5 kids with you. In it, Bob. And it's just the disrespect of their love. And that's what she's done. She's developed the defensive mechanism. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he's so disrespectful. He's such a flirt. He cheats continuously. That's the only way she can cope with it. The aunties will just sit there. The aunties just spend the whole time whilst their husband's there. That's just, you know, all of the gal them that are in there, the sprinkle gal them that are in the function, know that if the husband will probably move to the girl whilst the wife is there. Like, that's how disrespectful they are. Do you remember I told you when I got invited to that baby's birthday, and the baby's party who I got invited to? So this is the mother's child. Her man moved to me on that day. He was bringing, he gave me a whole bottle of Azul, because you know they have like all the drinks, the rich Nigerians, and they had the Lauren Perrier on the tables, and they were giving out like, you know, like these bottles to the tables. But obviously this man doesn't know me from anywhere, and it got to the point where he was bringing so much stuff to the table, because this is how like Nigerian men will show that they're interested in you. They will buy you. So he came and he started bringing all the food on the table. He then started bringing like loads of Lauren Perrier, Azul. So now all the women are looking at me. But remember, this is foreign to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's going on. So at a point, I'm looking around at the other tables and I'm thinking, why have we got so much stuff on the table? Then it's clicked to me. This brother is moving to me in front of his woman. Do you know what else he did? After the party, I didn't know it was his woman at that time though. After the party, he then went to go and book a private table at a club afterwards to be doing an after party, because his whole intention was, because the guy who invited me and my brethren was his friend. So the whole intention was he's paid for the table, you know, he's booked the table. Like, this is the after party thing. All the wives go home, all the girlfriends go home, and then they're out there and spending all the money on the girls in the club. That's their life. That's why they move like that guys. You know, like they look at you like that, like you stink, and they act that certain way. And because they're just humiliated on the regular. Their life is an embarrassment. They're living a lie. And on this note, guys, I can't believe I've got away with this live. I'm gonna go. I love you. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope that all the divorced women and the single girls that aren't married and stuff have been empowered, because a marriage will just rinse you dry. I'm having to rebuild my whole life. My queen, Lucia, I absolutely love you. Then they blame the women. Yes, Moons. That's all that they do up. Carlo, thank you for holding the space, for liking up the live. Everybody liking up the live. Guys, I would have been on here for a lot longer, but you know how it is, Cher. I just don't know if I've got you know what, guys? I might come back on. Because I've been sleeping the whole day. I just woke up like an hour or so ago. So you might get me on here. I might take a break and come back and deliver the other thing that I was talking about, you know, the one that I was telling guys, make sure you follow my main account, you know, because if I come off live and I get a tutorial, it means I can't go on live here. This is how much they try to get me offline. So on my main account that you see here, this is where I post daily. I tell you which account I'm going to be on, all of my content's on there, any announcements, everything. Like, that's our main hub. That's like our survivors love hub. That's our survivors love hub, Chair. We all, like, honestly, and I just want to say, I just want to pour my love on survivors. I might do that Juanita Bynum cover. You know that one? I pour my love on you, 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 you. I pour my love on you. I'm going to do that song for the collective. I just want to say thank you so much, guys. You know, that's my way of like pouring my love onto people, is serenading them with my voice. And that's why I love to like sing happy birthday to all my loved ones as well. And Special K, you better be coming to the collective university, because if you're not there, Special K, if you're not there, I'm telling you now, that will show so much disrespect that the prophet is speaking and you're not listening to what he said. You know, I can tell you, prophetically speaking, that you need to be at that university. Okay? Oh, Ines, I love you so much as well. You're such a queen. You guys comments and your love. I did a video singing, yeah. The video's got about, I don't know. On TikTok though, it's hard to get views now. But it's got like maybe 900 views or something, yeah. And it's got like over 100 and something likes. And I'm just like, wow, like the collective, like y'all, the way you look like push my content, and it's all because of the collective. It is. And I don't even want to get emotional, but like the singing, like they really broke me down, and you know, like my confidence with singing, and crushed me, and broke my soul, destroyed my soul. And you know, when I sing, it's like the survivors just really come out and support me. It just means the world to me. And I just love that the currency within this collective is love. And what we're doing is a really brave thing. Like, we've come on here, guys, we've done this independently. I want everybody to know that I would not be sitting here today talking, doing up what I'm doing behind the scenes. I've got survivors who hold my hand, man, like through it. Like if I'm really desperate or I'm struggling for the month or something's going on, there's survivors that love me. Do you understand? That will help me, that will be there, that are a support. I will always love and support you, Queen. Oh, Lucia, likewise, man. I've met the purest souls. I've met the purest souls. That's why when I said that the cornerstone, no, the stone which the builders have rejected has become the head cornerstone. I said that at the beginning of last year, and they were all mocking it and laughing. And I kept saying, watch, you lot wait until I heal. You wait until I become spiritual. You wait until I can start reading my Bible again. You wait until I can start praying. You wait until I build myself up, because the Leah, when I'm on it and I'm doing my thing, like there's no one can stand against me. No one can come up against me. No one. Even if they know all those scriptures or whatever, I've got direct communication to God. So it's like they could say a scripture or whatever, but God will give me a download of something that, you know, it's getting revealed through the Holy Spirit and the Spirit of Christ now. Do you get what I'm saying? So now this is getting revealed to you. How about that? I don't play with the God I serve. Thank you for the follow. Follow this one as well. This is my main account, please. And this is usually where I'm going live. God is all I've ever had. Like I'm from the ends. Like God is all I've ever had. I haven't had a daddy to fall back on. I haven't had, like, you know, do you get me? Like my mum struggled to do her best for us. I didn't have none of that growing up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's been survival of the fittest. And me, I don't know how I always end up with the most baddest, you know, the most bad man of bad. I just put myself in these situations. I think it's my ADHD, because I'm a neurospicy baddie as well. Thanks, Special K. I think I need to look into that as well, do a bit of deconstruction on why I was going for these bad boys. But again, you know, there's been so much work that I've poured into myself. Do you get what I'm saying? That, like, one thing I just will not have is disrespect. Do you get me? That's why I don't have them on my channel. Why do you want to come on here? You want to come? You're not disrespecting me. Go and disrespect your mother and father like you do every day. When you go and give the Porsche to your money, what's your mum? You know, there's kids in there. Their mum is on benefits, on minimum wage, struggling to put food on the table, and they're going there and giving the fiver that their mum's given them to go to school to be doing up seed offering. And these mogs are taking that money and they think it's going to be well with them. Listen, all of these empires are going to come crumbling down. All of the money, all of the wealth that they've stored up, everything. I'm telling you, it's all going to wither away. And money can't buy you happiness. A lot of these mogs, they're struggling to sleep at the moment. And you know, for the big mega ones, like my cult leader Dag and stuff, to him it's not even about the money. It's about the validation. It's about the supply. It's a lot more sinister than that. I wish it was just about money. It would make it a lot easier. But because it's about this narcissistic supply, and it's about, you know, they're feeding a beast, a monster. That's why we get individuals like this. It's like, you know, like, what's that? Is it Heckle and what's that one? Jekyll and, you know, the one that turns into the monster. He's wearing green as well. He does remind me of that guy. You know, Jekyll and, is it Jekyll and Hyde? He is given that type of vibe. You know, they just turn into this like Hulk, you know, like a big green Hulk, and they're just like attacking everybody and everyone. because they have absolutely like no. Oh God, what do you want to come up and say, Chair? Should I let someone on? Oh, but you know what? Should I let? Okay, should I let? No, all right, let me see. Mods, be on deck. Get ready to take them off. Hello. Wagwan, what you telling me?
Yeah, man. No, it's fine, but you see what it is. Right, see what it is. Same way how black gal ain't for black.
Sorry? Sorry? What was that?
Black man ain't for every black gal, and black gal ain't for every black man.
So what's your point?
No, because
are you coming on here to back my man?
No, I'm not backing him. I'm just saying in general.
But so what are you telling me then? Are you wait, hold on. Are you telling me that his actions were justified because not all black men go for black women? Is that what you're telling me?
What he done was premeditated. You didn't clock the scare now.
What do you mean? Talk to me.
What he done, I feel like it was premeditated. I feel like the whole thing was planned. I feel like he's done it to go viral.
But brother, in this day and age, this type of viral chair, that's not what you need.
No, of course not. I don't respect it.
But I get what you're saying. Like any publicity, bad publicity, good publicity is publicity. But brother, it's so much more deeper than that. My man's a ginger albino with a mum that probably, hasn't showed him any love. This is self-hate. He don't respect his mum.
No, he don't respect his mum.
Because what you need to understand, bro, is him saying that about black women. He's talking about your mother. He's talking about your sister. He's talking about your daughter. He's talking whether he's doing it for clout or not. It's disrespectful.
Can I say something?
Go on.
You don't know what his mother used to do to him. Like, you can't pretend that. As a you, obviously, some men take beating different, innit? Man got beat left, right, and centre, but I just take it different. Love my mother the same way. But some man was getting abused by their parents in their yard on a different thing. I would have put hands on my cookie car. I knew it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Some they neglect their parents. Someone, it's a different thing. When you beat your kid left, right, and centre, you don't even know. His mother might have hated him because he look how we know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And people don't even understand that this man might have a deeper pain that no one even understands. Why he can't even handle black woman? You understand?
Yeah.
So his pain must be different. That's what I'm saying. Like, when he was chatting, I put other clips of him chatting, and I could hear the pain in his voice. It's deeper than just him not liking black girl and this and that and that. That's women, innit? But obviously, black girl ain't for every black man at the same time, because some man can't handle black girls. Black girl are gonna tell you how it is. You know what I'm saying? White girl are gonna go, yes sir. You know what I'm saying? Black girl are gonna do that. You know, not every man can handle them things as well. Some black girl can't handle black man. Some say, no, black man are too wicked. Black man love cheat too much. Black man, like, fuck the other girl.
No, you can't swear on air, chair. This is such a sensitive live, chair. You gotta watch your language, bro.
Sorry. Yeah, you understand what I mean, though?
No, I get it. You've raised some really interesting points, and also I just want to thank you, King, for being so vulnerable in talking about, like the abuse that you experienced as a child, and that's why you don't put your hands on your kids. And so that's why because I was going to lock you off, but as something was saying, let me let you chat, and so it's a very interesting perspective. So I will bear that in mind.
You have to on both sides of the coin.
I hear you.
Man can't realize this one black man for him just speaking a bit mad. You know what I'm saying? You're a bit mad. At the same time, when you push a man into the corner, you can only he's just on a defense.
But he also needs to unpack that, bro. He needs to go and get therapy and deal with that trauma. Do you get what I'm saying? Because we can't. Why do we have to listen to this? Because he doesn't want to sort himself out.
A lot of people, like you said, he spent 10 years in jail. So jail don't help his brain either. So you're going to 10 years in jail.
I get all of that. I get all of that, but still, he does need to put in the work. My brother's been in and out of jail since he's been 16 years old, Chair. And he told me not to go for guys who go to jail because they're never the same mentally. So I hear what you're saying, but at the same token, my brother's been in and out of jail his whole life. He don't behave like that.
No, of course not, but your brother ain't definitely the same thing he's been through. Same way he, your brother's been through.
My brother's probably been through worse, bro. You know them ones.
Well, yeah, not for real, but everyone's not the same.
But still, we you know, there's accountability and there's consequences. If someone unalives someone, the judge ain't gonna say, "Oh no, sorry, he's not gonna get time because his mother beat him and his mother was there." There's still consequences. Do you understand? When they're in that facility, then they can help them to rehabilitate and reintegrate back into society and do that work with them. But they don't get away with it because of what they've experienced. Yeah, but it doesn't matter though. I'm talking about consequences for your actions. So there are consequences for his actions, and this is the consequence: him getting cancelled. Yeah, that's what I feel. Is there anything else you want to add, bro? Because you've got a bit of a weird connection. It's like echoing.
Oh no, you know what it is? I'm in jail.
Oh, is it? Oh, free up the man, them. As I said that as well, you're in jail, but no disrespect though. But you know, like, come on, man, you've got seg. You get me? Like, you're in bang up a lot of the time if you don't behave yourself. You know, like mentally on the brain, it can have an impact, innit? So what else did you want to say then? Go on, because you're inside. I feel like holding the space a little bit more. What else are you telling us?
No, naturally, I just see how the internet's doing up, man. I've been dealing with my man. It's all funny enough. I see them on my travels.
Oh, so you've had like communication with him?
On my travels.
Oh, as you've been transferred like to different jails?
I was waiting with him. Seen on my travels.
He's not right though, is he? Because I met him one time as well. He has got issues. I did say that he has. What some people look at as mad to me, as mad to me, obviously look at one guy. I was there. It's so hard to hear you. Yeah. Oh yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, go on. I want a pen pal, man. Message me afterwards. I could be your pen pal.
My pen pal, yeah. I could do a pen pal.
Go on. What were you saying?
Yeah, no. Obviously, I just see that. Well, man, just a normal. Just trying to make a way for himself. But obviously, he just got mad. I don't like he's got mad.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And I hear what you're saying. I think as well, because of your experience, I'm going to take it on board and have a deeper think about this. I will. What I'm gonna do, bro, is go to someone else on the panel. Feel free to stay on if you want and chip in. And then, but if you need to go down, then that's absolutely fine. But if you do need a friend to speak to, because I've been celibate for 2 years, I'm not interested in men. But if you do want, you seem cool. So if you did want a home girl, then, you know, message me up. Yeah. Say that again. Yeah. Yeah. Say that again.
Follow me back.
Yeah. I followed you back. I followed you back. All right. So I'm going to move on to the next person. And then if you want to come back and give your, you know, chip in or whatever you can. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go to Princess. Is it God's Child? I'm going to, bro, can you mute for a bit? And then when you want to come in, then you unmute. Yeah. Is that all right? Thank you. Princess. Hiya. Are you a survivor?
When you say survivor what way? Because I've been surviving many ways. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I'm doing a different live. Are you here to talk about Ginger J?
Ginger J indeed.
Sorry, I don't usually do lives about anything else but church, so I that's why I was like, you're a survivor.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm a survivor when it comes to church, but tonight, for this aspect, I would say that for now.
Okay. So what have you come to tell us, my love?
This Ginger Day, he's totally wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
He's totally wrong.
Because even I hear what the other guy's saying, because he's brought us a really good lens. But even so, man, I just...
Yeah, this Ginger Day is totally wrong. He literally just jumped out the window. He really jumped out the window with that one. He just really went the wrong way. Reason why I say that is, first and foremost, thank you for letting me come on your live to talk. I do appreciate you bringing me up. Big up to you, sis. I love you those two, babes. Whether it's for publicity or not, whether he's bringing it up for whatever reason, if you're a grown lady like we are, and anyone hearing this is not a new thing. We've been hearing this literally all our lives. If you're from the UK, or if you're from overseas, such as America and all that stuff, you know, I'm sure a lot of African people, they don't really come across man saying this to them. But if you're from the, you know, Europe, UK, America, you're going to come across these kind of mad people who talk senseless. And I feel like this particular guy has got a lot of issues, just like everyone out there. But he thought to himself, let me come out and let me portray myself in a foolish manner, which he done.
It was so foolish.
Maybe to bring him something, what have you, because whether you've been in jail for 11 years or 5 years, it still doesn't give you the right to bring anyone down, especially your own black people. You know, this is why a lot of fuckery happens to us British people here in the UK. Because they're like, you know what, yeah, they're all fighting for, we are racist, we are this, we are that. But their own black people are racist towards them too.
You can't say that word, girl. You gotta say acist, because you know my life sensitive. Yeah,
forgive me.
It's all right,
they
baby.
They are racist to themselves too. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Because and the funny thing about it is that you put yourself and people to shame, especially himself. He thinks he's insulting us. He's not. You're insulting yourself. Telling people that why you haven't got your own head. That is not your business.
Period.
That has got nothing to do with anything. Because people always like to fire blank shots when they are down. That's exactly what I feel like he done that day to that girl.
Yeah.
By saying that, where is your head? That's got nothing to do with anything.
I would have put hands on him. I would have put hands on him. That's why he can't have a black, because you can't speak to black women like this. Are you all right?
Exactly. Everybody, exactly. I love what you said. You know what? I tell you, if it was back in the days when I was a bit younger, maybe I would have flip mode scored on
yeah, man. We don't play that.
I'm telling people these kind of things. And I'm not trying to be funny. God forgive me, because I believe in Jesus Christ. But God forgive me. You're not bright yourself. You're not bright. There's nothing bright about you. There's nothing good about you. No offense to anyone who looks like him. I don't see, you know what? I've been on TikTok all through the weekend, because I don't work on the weekends, and all I can see is my beautiful black sisters all over the UK and some outside the UK flicking their natural hair, even their picky hair, like we still got some.
You're so funny. All the textures are beautiful, princess. We just need to know how to look after the hair, because it is the whitey supremacy beauty standards. That's why we're not doing that. We're not looking after our hair.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. All the hair types is beautiful.
This guy Your hair ain't making sense. His hair ain't making sense. His hair ain't making sense. The way he talks ain't making sense. Everything like his lack of education, lack of decorum, no respect for himself, talking about his mom, that I don't like my mom anyways. What has that got to do? You know, he has literally disgraced himself. He really has. I don't want to know if any other race wants to go out of him or not. I tell you, they're not feeling him. God forgive me. I tell you, they're not feeling him.
They're not feeling him because we're standing as women. They're not feeling him.
So many ladies that have posted here on TikTok and on Instagram talking about his madness. Even white ladies are like, we don't claim him. We're not interested in him.
Yeah, because we're standing as women.
Sorry, darling?
We're standing as women. We're supporting each other. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's different times. You can't just go on and say anything you want now. We're not living in the same world. That's what I keep trying to explain to people. These are archaic, like, mindsets that they talk like this in the church cult. Like, this is how they talk in their communities, and it's okay.
Yeah, you know what? You remind me of those days when we used to go Chocodero. I don't know if you know about Chocodero.
Oh yeah. I used to go Chocodero. Yeah.
We used to go Chocodero in Piccadilly Circus in Leicester Square. We used to like. These remind me of early 2000s when mans them don't have no long pee and everything's not making sense. And they're just dry and they're just looking for girls who they're gonna, run game on and go home and think about how they're gonna do the same thing the next day and still run game and do the long thing. This is a grown man. People in the comments are laughing. It's true.
But do you know what? Someone's saying, there's a girl there that's saying he thought he was going to get away with it, which I think she hit the nail on the head, and that times have changed, because we also have to look at this as a positive, because the people them dropped him. Like, don't play with black women, innit? Like, we are loved, we are enough, we are accepted, we are beautiful no matter what our hair's like, because it's deeper than what he said about the hair. Don't you get it? It's the intersectionality, it's the systemic ageism, it's the colorism within the community, it's slavery. It's deeper than that. We have like this stuff in our epigenetics. So when a black brother, a king, says that about us, and there's already all of this rhetoric that a black woman is angry, she's this, she's that. It is so much deeper. It's not about our hair, bro. It's not about our hair. It's resurfacing those issues within us. Like, our black men do not protect us. Our black men do not love us. Our black men do not appreciate us. The first black man that was ever supposed to show that this is my protector, my provider, he's there for me, left me when I was born. Are you all right? So this is why I'm saying I heard that other brother, but this is gonna bring up a lot of trauma for us black women. So we're not having it. We're not having it. You can't speak to us anyhow.
You know what I feel when I hear our black men talk about us women, us black women who wear wigs, eyelashes, fake nails, or whatever he mentioned that day. It's just like he's just bringing us down, just the way our enemies out there bringing us
yes.
down. We're already trying to bring us down.
Yes.
And he wants to include himself in
yes.
that, make himself look like a big man in front of other people.
Yes.
That's why I love it. Even though none of those men then stood up and said anything, but that's one particular guy, I can't remember his name, the black guy who trusted him, he said, once you start talking about black women's hair, I'm not involved. That guy, I do rate him. I might not give him 100% ratings, but I rate him still. Because at the end of the day, you're going too far. You've got a black mom, I don't give a damn if she wears dreads or not. I guarantee you, if push comes to shove, she's still going to put a wig on her head.
At some point.
On her eyes. She's still going to go and fix her nails and some nail hair shit, some nail shop. But why is it us black people get terrorized because we're going to do this? My mom, she's never worn a wig before. I don't give a damn what anyone says. You see my mom. My mom, she's never, she always her own wet look. Wet look is all she does. I think some people call it Jerry curls or what have you, her own natural hair. Since I've known her, as my mom till this day, she always has her own Jerry curls in her head. She doesn't do wigs, she doesn't do weave on. Because her natural hair suits her. I'm not saying that my natural hair doesn't suit me. That's just who I am at this time of the time that God made me, if that makes sense. Yeah. And the time that God made my mom, in her generation, people wore wigs and weave on, and people left their own natural hair, just like it is happening today. So what is the difference? There's no difference. If you're cool with what you want to wear, you're cool with what you want to wear. I feel like he just come on to the great black women because he feels that us black people, especially the black females, get it the most. We get it the most. If we go on the bus, the train, if we're driving our car, if we're at work, we get the most hatred because our skin color is powerful. Our skin color is beautiful. I'm a dark skin lady. I'm not very dark, but I wish
Melanin
I was.
queen.
I wish I was. I wish I was as black as they come. But unfortunately, I'm not. I'm still just a brown skin girl. I'm not really light skin. I'm not as fair as you, Leah. But I'm still.
Girl, I'm a brown skin queen, chair. I'm not fair skin, chair.
No, I'm a little bit darker. I'm not really
Yeah, just like I touch. Yeah.
That girl that you're just seeing, girl.
We're caramel. We're caramel and brown skin. I just broke my nail.
I wish I was as charcoal as they come. Because they're trying to make people feel like, oh, even I know some minister back in the day who like, oh, you know what, yeah, I want me a light skin chick. You take craze. They take craze. Because the madness in their brain because of the things that the society have put in their minds. Society has made people feel like if you're not light skinned, especially if you're not white tea, you are nothing. That one is all BS. I grew up in a lovely, wonderful, blessed home. My grandma told me I'm as beautiful as they come. I came up with a lovely family. They told me I'm as beautiful as I was born and raised here in the UK. Because I don't care to say I'm born and raised in West London. And they told me I'm as beautiful as they come. My grandma loved me to bits. My mom loves me to bits. My sisters, my aunties, everybody loves me. They tell me I'm as beautiful as they come. These people, they're hating on us. Not all of them, because I've got some wonderful light skin. Well, light skin is not the thing. I'm talking about people who are not in our race. I've got some lovely white tea friends, Asian friends, or associate partners who respect me for who I am. Because why? I respect myself. And they call me a fashionista. You can't dress like me. They can't dress like me. My dress sense is immaculate. How you carry yourself is how you will be addressed.
Yeah.
Whether I have a picky hair or I wear a wig, that's my business. You see this man here, what's troubling him is that the way I see him, God forgive me because I believe in Jesus Christ, but unfortunately the truth is the truth, and the Bible says the truth is the truth. He's not Mr. Handsome. So he's come across a lot of people who's not feeling him. So when you come across a lot of people who's not feeling you, you're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed. And that's what's troubling him right now. Even though I was born and raised in London, I'm happy I've got my African accent. My parents are from Nigeria, one of the topmost in this world. Hallelujah. You understand? But one thing I will say, yeah, my guy here, he hasn't got no self-respect.
Yeah.
And he ain't got no respect. All day, the whole of the week, when I scroll past on this TikTok, is all about him. And my black sisters all over the UK with their long, beautiful hair, with their dark skin, light skin, caramel, brown skin, whichever shade that God bless them to have, they're all coming like, who he's talking to? You have no respect. Even men, them coming against him. Grown men.
Because it's deep. The hair thing is deep because it takes us so much to gain our confidence to walk outside and love ourselves with our natural hair, because we're in a ACES country, and he did that. So it's not like just like, oh, he just said about black girls' hair. It's deep. It's in our epigenetics. It's slavery when the colored girls would be in the house and the darker skinned girls would be picking from the cotton field. It brings that up.
That is deep, because when it comes to our hair and our culture,
this guy's an
and
idiot,
the food
man.
we eat, it goes really deep. It's really to the roots. He's talking about our roots. Why you can come on and tell you what where's your hair? That's too much. We're not in the early 2000s or 1990s or 1980s or 1970s or 1960s. You're really taking it too far.
Definitely.
Anybody who comes from you in that manner has taken it too far. Whitey people, Asian people, all races, they wear fake hair. They wear fake nails. They do fake eyelashes. We're females. We want to enhance our beauty. It's normal. If I see a female who doesn't want to enhance her beauty, I'm not trying to be funny. It's either because she ain't got the money or because she just loves how she looks and she just wants to stay like that. That's the only two things. And we all love how we look.
Yeah, and what he did was wrong, because it's also IT supremacy as well. The way he said it was like, these type of man them that go for whitey gal them, this is how they act. Like their ish don't stink, like they don't want a black girl, because it's almost like when they go with the whitey gal, they got the fine long hair, so it's like he can use that against us now because they've got the wig. We all know what this is. We're going to talk about it. We don't care. I'm not care. Do you know what I mean? I don't care what anyone says. This brother's an idiot. Do you know what I mean? And this type of rhetoric needs to be shut down. The black men need to understand, if you're talking like this, you're going to get cancelled, in it. Like you're going to get sacked. Like your business, like no one's going to support you in it. Like we're not here to play that.
There's one stupid guy on TikTok. I think it's happened back in the day about when this lockdown BS happened. He was walking around with some white chick saying, this is my new bride. She's going to give me a British passport. She's got long hair, her own natural. I'm not sure if you saw it. It went viral. Like any woman, any guy who wants to have a passport, who wants to settle down in the UK, come and get this woman. She's got her own natural hair. And then he was walking on the streets of Peckham High Road and cutting out black women as he was passing by, saying, you got your fake hair, we need this kind of lady. It was great, it was too much. So when this guy, whatever you call this foolish guy's name, it made me remind me of him. I was like, this is just, it's too much. It's disgusting. It is horrible. And I love the fact that every time for the past 3 days I've been scrolling on TikTok, all I can see is my black brothers, my black kings, my black uncles, my black young brothers, older brothers, my same age brothers, likewise you, my sister, babe, who are talking about what he's done is effing. It's effing.
It is.
You're going too far. Like, what level did you have to get to for you to say that? So that means you're so pressed because you can't find a black queen who respects you because you are not a black king. So you thought, you know what, let me bring every female down and call them about their hair.
You know, we take it very black women. You can't ramp with us, man. We're not we're not the ones to be ramping with, Jay. We mind our own business.
You better be happy they don't see me in West.
That's what I'm saying. He don't want to start seeing black women outside in these streets, Jay. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna tell him what we think, Jay. That we're gonna tell him what we think, Jay. Do you know what I mean, man? Like, it's not Karen outside. It's Shaniqua. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you all right? Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah.
Just seeing everyone, we're all together, we're all back up in Holden Stonebridge, let's all come together. Camille, Shanisa, we're all together. No, we don't care where you're from, Jamaica, from Sierra Leone, Africa, we're all black.
Yes, girl. Yes, queen. Yes. Yes.
He needs to be put in his place. He did craze. Mental illness is real. Especially when you've been in that kind of place for 11 years, and that's what they said. Nah, I understand. You know what? You actually feel sorry for him. You've been in that place for 11 years. Nah, that says a lot. That says a lot. Anyway, I'm not trying to be funny. God forgive me, like I said. When he came out, he couldn't find a PPUSSSY. I understand. You know, babe, let me let you go. Yeah.
All right, darling. You're so much fun. Thanks for coming on and sharing with us. You're so lit. Thank you, girl.
Bless you, babe. Thank you.
Come to the next Survivor link up. Yeah.
I'm even following you right now. There we go. I'm following you, babe.
Follow me on my main account. This one down there, babe. Leah Lauder. That's where I'm going to put all the announcements. You see on that account below you. This is one of my backups. Underneath. That's the one you need to follow because I'll be putting up the Survivor. Yeah. Yeah. I'll follow you. All right, my lovely.
I'm with you, sis. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, darling. Bye. Why it's not letting me follow her? Woo, Special K, what you telling me? I'm about to end in 10 minutes though, my love. Because I'm tired.
Girl, I'm just saying hi.
Hey,
I'm
Queen.
just passing through and
Oh,
saying hi.
hey. Oh my God, it's so nice to hear from you. I thought you was coming to tell us what you think about Ginger J. Yeah.
Oh, I think he's just an idiot. You know, it's self-hate. He's black himself.
Yeah.
Just because his hair's ginger, is still black.
Yeah. But even the gingers came out the other day, innit, and said that we accepted them into the community. The gingers, like they're one of us. So I did say it's just so upsetting to see. Honestly, this is why I haven't really spoken on it, you know, because it's been a lot. And I just think that again, it's just these are the type of guys that will end up going into these church cult spaces and rebranding themselves, girl. This is the type of guys that and it will be all the young girls, the vulnerable young girls. He HATEs himself, his mother, his sisters, every black woman, and then he'll be the pastor of a black church, just talking human fecal matter just to get paid. Just to get paid. Because the only community that's going to accept this guy after what he's done is going to be there. Because they're the only ones DUMB enough to take on his human fecal matter. So he'll end up there, Jay. Remember I said it.
Mercy, Lord.
Wow, Jay. Is there anything you wanted to say to us, babe? Or anything you wanted to share with the collective?
Just black is beautiful. My mum's always told me. My mum's white and she raised me. And my daddy wasn't around. So I never had my black side, you know. But my mum's always told me that black is beautiful. She always looked after my hair. She always told me I was beautiful, dressed me nicely.
Oh God, she's a queen,
yeah. She actually is. Like my mum was raised by black people anyway.
Oh, one of them ones, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. That's why I said the whitey gal that they're more queens than some. You know what I mean? These church gal and internalized misogyny and HATE themselves, yeah.
Yeah, it's true though. I mean, the hatred that you have for yourself reflects in this man's talk. The hatred that he has for himself, it reflects. You know, and no one can see nothing but self-hate anyway.
Definitely. That is so powerful. Oh, Special K, I love you. You're such a, you really are special.
I really appreciate your channel. I really appreciate what you're doing for us survivors, honestly.
You're such a lovely woman.
You know, you're bare with it. You're real with it. You know what I mean? Like, you're deep with it. Some people are just surface and they'll tell you this, that, and the other, but it won't be real. But with you, I feel a deep connection.
Oh, don't. You'll get me emotional.
You know?
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
we are still God's people and we can flourish and grow, you know, and this is just a good space for people to come that's safe, that have come out of that, you know.
It's good for all of us, helping all of us.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you, Leah. You know, keep doing it, keep moving forward, keep pushing. Yeah. Don't be disheartened or dismayed. That's what God says.
Okay.
You know, don't let the haters influence you in any way, shape, or form other than pressing forward and doing what you're doing.
Oh, I love you, girl, man.
Yeah, man.
I just want to say you got such a sweet, like, pure soul, Special K, and I absolutely love you. And every time you come on here, that's why I said, oh, if I got a request and I seen this you and I accepted you, you always.
Thank you. I got a phone call earlier. That's why I had to leave.
You're lovely, and I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom and knowledge with us, babe. And thank you for being vulnerable and open and sharing those beautiful memories with us. Because I seen someone said that all races are queens, and I think
what I wanted to ask you though, Leah.
Yes, my love.
You know Dennis Isaacs that's on your YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Is he from Leeds?
I'm not sure.
Because my dad's called Dennis Isaacs.
I'm not sure because I haven't spoken to him, but I think his church cult was in London because it was that pastor. Yeah, he's gone to jail. He's essayed and raped about over 12 women in the church cult. Yeah.
Mercy, Lord.
Yeah, his one's so. I think it was Climate. I think that's what he was. Pastor was. He was terrible. So yeah, but I'll find out for you though. I'll find out if he's from Leeds for you. I'll find out, but I doubt it. I'm sure it's London, but I will find out.
Yeah, because he's really incisive as well. The comments that he puts on your YouTube really resonate with me.
Yeah, I always try and make sure I respond to Dennis because there's so much wisdom in what he's saying as well. And it's really important. I think I've started framing and shaping the red flags with some of the stuff that he's been saying as well, because he's got really good insight in it. So yeah, he's a gem, man. So I'll find out for you.
I do believe that black people, the reason why black people, like Jesus, I believe he was black. I don't believe he was white. You know, the actual area that he came from, they're not white people. You know, but whether Jesus was white or black doesn't matter. He's a spirit.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, black people have been suppressed so much in history because we have glory.
Yes.
You know, civilizations were made by us, set up by us, and the white supremacy just took over.
Yeah.
Enslaved us. Yeah. You know, like no one's gonna put something down or dismantle something or try and destroy something unless it's powerful.
Yeah, you're totally right.
You know, that's my say on it because, you know, this guy, I don't know what his name is, but I don't even want to say his name, but the guy that's on your screen, you know, he hates himself.
Definitely.
You know, and, you know, a lot of people out there do. You know, whether that be because of what they've done or because of how people perceive them, they actually hate themselves. You know, and within the church, people hate themselves. They go after Jesus so much because they hate the inner self, the inner man that they talk about. They don't like it because they don't look at it.
That's deep.
They mask it with speaking in tongues and not looking at the deep issues that they've got.
Oh, girl, you've been deconstructing, innit? Damn.
Yeah. They don't look at the deep issues that they've got because they've got issues, but they just flab it over and say, "Oh, God will make a way. God will do this. God will do that." No, you have to assess yourself.
Yes, yes.
You know, it's not. It is about Jesus, but we are people. We are His people. You get it?
Yeah.
So for you to love yourself, you have to look at yourself in the mirror. You have to dissect yourself, so to speak. You know, and until you do that, you don't know yourself. So how can you love?
Wow.
You know?
Wow. That is so, guys, oh my God, I can feel that all over me. That is that Special K, that really, really resonates. Everything you've just said is so validating.
Yeah. I'm glad I can be of help, you know, because what you do, Leah, it's extraordinary. You know, you've gone through mental health, you've gone through breakdown, you've gone through all sorts, Leah, and you're building people right now and helping them to come out of what you've been through. And I applaud that so much, Leah. Like, you're a star. You know, when they talk about stars in heaven and they say that you want to be a star that lasts forever and ever and ever, I believe that's upon your life, Leah. I'm speaking prophetically now. You know, even though people have tried to break you, you are a conqueror. You are a conqueror. And that's not coming from someone who's in the Bible and wants to take your tithes and wants to run you. That comes from God Himself and His word. You know, you're a conqueror, Leah.
Thank you, babe.
And your voice and everything, you can still use that for you know, God's kingdom. You can still do that. You know, not a kingdom that has rules and regulations and false doctrines, but, you know, reaching out to the survivors that are here that are thinking, well, where can I go now? You know, I believe in God still, but what can I do with myself? How can I progress? People are coming to you for answers, Leah, and it's really, really heavy on your shoulders. Like, it's a really, really, how can I put it? It's a lot of responsibility. So if ever you want to share that responsibility or talk or anything, I'm here.
Oh,
you
thank
know,
so much,
because
Special K.
a leader needs to have someone that they can trust.
I'm not a leader. I'm not a leader. I'm just here. I'm just everybody's friend, Chair. I'm not a leader. That is reserved for the pastors and the monks in the church. And I'm not a leader.
No, but in a sense, you're an influencer, Leah. You are a leader. You have to take that. You have to take that stance in yourself. You are, because you're leading people out of delusions.
Maybe more like healer. Maybe healer. Because
yeah,
healer.
It's true.
All of these words are so triggering, though, isn't it? Leader, healer. I mean, I know, man. That's why I just say Leah Lada, because it's just, you know.
I hear you, Leah, but
I need to start
changing. Yeah, your past, like,
you
can't allow that. You can't allow that to hinder your self growth now.
Yeah,
you've got to grow, and you've got to accept and you've got to name it and claim it. That's what they used to say.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, you'll name it because it's a name that you've given yourself, or that, you know, that, yeah. But whatever labels that you want that they put on you, they don't suffice anymore, Leah, because that was just a delusion. It was a delusion. That's what they put you under, a delusion. You know, they tell you certain things and make you believe and have strength and stand in them. And then it's all a delusion because they don't have any, you know, they don't have any real, what's the word? They don't have any real posts. Like, how can I explain? If you have issues in a church, all they say is God will heal you, call on God. But no, there needs to be underwork doing with that.
Yeah, there's no practical steps that they give us to,
No, they've got practical steps for giving tithes and doing this and doing that. But when it actually comes to deepness, like healing within yourself, it doesn't happen unless Jesus does it for you. Because they have no capacity to help you with it.
Woo! So that spirit of healing, innit? It makes sense, because that spirit of healing is the truth. You have to face the truth in order to heal. And Jesus Christ is the truth, the way, and the life, and the truth will set you free. So you've just brought it all full circle for us, babe.
Yeah.
That depth of understanding. And this is what it's supposed to be about. Jesus wasn't a dictator. He was a conversationalist and a storyteller. Jesus Christ enjoyed communing and having conversations and challenging people's thoughts and all of that. Like what we're doing now. Like, this is the real church. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. Not an institution.
And Jesus was like, you will do greater works than I. You know, he didn't claim that he was the be all and end all. He said, you'll do greater.
Yeah, because of his humility as well. That's humility as well, isn't it? When he's saying that, that's humility. That's the humility of Christ. And this is what, and you know what? I'm so glad that you've held this space for us to like start having these like religious conversations, because it's true. Like, I feel peace with you, Special K, doing this. Maybe we should talk about doing some deconstruction around the words of God, because I feel very peaceful energy with you. I'm not usually able to engage like this. Do you understand?
I think it's Holy Spirit led. You know, when they say that the Holy Spirit's leading this, they have a portion of it, but they disuse it and rewire it to their way of thinking.
It's all lies. It's all lies. It's all hallucinations, yeah. Because the Holy Spirit is pure. They're not pure. The Holy Spirit cannot dwell.
The spirit of religion has taken over Dag Heward's church. The spirit of religion, because the devil comes as an angel of light, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know, and that's where the churches are confused, because they're dealing with the spirit of religion now. So they do things rigidly, but they don't work through it properly because they're dealing with religion, not real life.
Yeah, that's the distorted reality. So that's them, like, you know, in that cognitive dissonant state, completely disassociated from reality because of the us versus them and the demonization and isolation. You're totally right.
I mean, a friend of mine, she just I won't say a name or anything, but a friend of mine, her daughter was possessed with a demon, and she had a pastor come round and pray for her. But I don't look at her any different because her daughter was possessed with a demon. Anyone can get possessed with a demon if they open the door, or if it's you know, like spiritual curses or whatever the case may be. But it was like the pastor didn't even explain it, just cast the demon out and said, how many of you are there? And then they were cast out, and then she was just left. Like, what's that about? That's supposed to be her spiritual father. What is that about? You're supposed to support, you know, but you can't give what you don't have. This is what I mean, the emotional investment and building yourself up and knowing yourself and knowing who you are, your identity. It is in Christ, but it's also knowing your personal identity. You're a child of God. You have a personal identity, you know?
No, definitely.
But I think, you know, we'll all find our identity, because it's about self-growth and awareness. You know, if this guy that we're talking about actually looked in himself, he's got mummy and daddy issues. That's why he's going on the way he is.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have empathy for him because I believe he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, like Lauryn Hill says, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. You know, it's like, I do forgive those who don't know what they're doing, but some of these people know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're here to try and confuse and allow others to portray their behaviours because they're lost.
Definitely.
You know?
Oh my God, you've broken it down so well, girl. I'm so glad that
He's just lost.
Yeah, look, someone said sis came with the vocals. I know. Even I was thinking, from the tuning, like the way she sung, I was thinking, I know this song. This girl can sing. I was thinking vocal collective, but I didn't want to say anything to make it pressurizing. But I think I'm just gonna start this vocal collective online because there's so many of us are from all over. I think the online works really well. So I'm going to start something up, man, just where we can just vibe and just sing and just, you know. So we'll start that. It would be nice, isn't it? Like just for us to all just come online and just vibe. And I think we should start with a Lauryn Hill song as well because she's so healing. And I think that, you know, as a collective, like, you know, Lauryn Hill means so much to us and her music. So
definitely.
We look for a nice...
She knows who she is. She knows her identity.
Yeah.
And she doesn't let no one sway her.
Yeah.
You know, but that's taken a lot of time in that industry to be able to be as strong as she is.
Yeah.
Because she was broken down and her record contract was taken off her. But she said, I'm not about myself. I'm about God. You know, so when she said that, record companies weren't interested anymore because, you know, it's all about self.
Yeah.
You know, and about secret societies and whatnot. Like, it's mad. It's mad. The musical industry.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers of the onion to unpack there, man.
But the fact of the matter as well, though, Leah, is that you didn't get the opportunity to go into the industry because of a church, because of a so-called church. You know,
a cult.
And that's just sad. Really sad. Because you could have gone on anywhere or been anybody. You didn't have that opportunity because you were deceived into thinking that it was a devil thing to do. No, it isn't. It's your journey.
They rob people of so much. And this is why I'm sure Ginger Jay's been brought up in the same toxic cycle. Like, because remember, aunties and uncles, there's like an ignorance. Like, they just say whatever. Do you know what I mean? But it can't be excused. Because I'm currently writing a book, it can't be excused because he understands, he knows that like the generation that we're in at the moment, he knows what I want. Do you get what I'm saying? So the only thing we can put it down to is, like, as you've said, he's got mommy and daddy issues and he needs to sort it out. And on that note, I think I'm going to start winding down. Special K, do you have anything else you wanted to say or any final words?
Yeah. Thank you for allowing me.
Are you sure? You don't want to leave us with a word of wisdom. You don't want to. Don't feel depression. Because I've been told that because I was in the cult for 18 years. It's like I have to do this thing where there's like a closing. I can't just, you know, because in church there'd always be,
I just think that the main point is self-growth is paramount. you know, self-growth, knowing yourself. If you don't know yourself, you can't help anybody else. You can't progress. If you don't know yourself, you can't progress. You have to look at yourself in that mirror and take your flaws and all and grow. You know, look at yourself and think, right, you know, what is it that I'm struggling with? What is it that I'm doing well at? You know, and you can applaud yourself and say, yes, I'm doing well at this, but do you know what? I need to grow in this aspect, because it's about self-growth. These people that run churches or whatever, they don't have self-growth. They don't. They just mask it with Jesus this, Jesus that. You know, all the stories that come up. You know, like the parables and stuff. Like, I understand the parables and I understand that I can relate it to myself, but you have to self-grow first.
Yeah.
You know, which is what they don't do. They don't look at the actual underlying issues. You have to look at your underlying issues and grow. You know? Like,
so
God
powerful.
gave us life, and Jesus said that he's come to give us life and give it more abundantly. But how can he give us life if we don't have understanding and wisdom of ourselves?
For lack of knowledge, our people perish.
It's true, man. It's true.
Yeah.
And I feel really good with you as well. Like, I feel this is a really safe place.
Likewise.
You know? And I feel that people that have been in circumstances within the church can grow like a workbook, a self-growth workbook. You know, like writing things that, you know, you're good at, you're bad at, you're struggling at, you know, and identifying them in yourself, not even sharing it, but looking inward. Because you have to, these prophets and some, you know, they don't look at themselves because they're so busy filling that inner void with others, but they're not leading others to a place because they're not in a place themselves. They're not in the right place themselves to be able to address their issues.
The blind leading the blind.
Yeah, and I've learned that being in Pleasant Surprise Chapel International. You know, I also learned that I'm very stubborn. I'm a very stubborn person, Leah. Very.
But that's
I remember
you.
them telling me not to be in a relationship with a certain guy, and I pursued it and continued. You know, but I just thought, why are they dictating who I can be in a relationship with? It's my decision.
Yeah, that's what they do. They do a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of control in these settings. And that's why I think, you know, this space is so important to be able to like validate our experiences, to share. So, you know, because when we share, and that's why I've stayed on extra longer tonight, because I am exhausted. But if survivors, like people want to, the voices of the survivors, I'll stay on for that. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, this is validating other people, like hearing the voices of survivors, and you don't know that there could just be just like a really small, like one small thing that you say that could just, you know, transform and totally shift the perspective of a person that's listening. So thank you so much, my love. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing. And
thank you for the opportunity.
No, thank you for coming on and sharing your wisdom with us. Yeah.
It's a pleasure. My love.
All right then, babe. Well, message me. We'll catch up. Yeah.
All right, darling.
All right then, babe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was amazing, wasn't it? I mean, I love when Special K comes on. She's such a queen. And I'm just gonna wind down now, guys, because it was absolutely amazing. I think there's a lot of food for thought. It is on YouTube or Instagram if you want to catch up. On Instagram, you've asked, hi Leah, can you do a video on youth pastors, please? Yes, I will. Let me screenshot this. I've screenshot it. All right, I will do a post on pastors. It would have been good if she was still on here to ask what type of information, but I'll just do one. So thank you so much. Thank you for everyone that's come on the panel. We've been discussing this mess, you know, really trying to make sense of this human phenomenon that we have here in the form of Ginger J. And I think we've had really good conversation and dialogue around this. Thanks, Lynn's braids. And we've really kind of unpacked it. And I'm hoping that this will bring a bit of peace for women, especially Black women. Wakanda, my queen. it will bring some peace to Black women. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's just it's for me, it's just been an embarrassment. Do you know what I mean? It's just embarrassment again for the community. As always, we have to have the younger ones that come and embarrass us, because the enablers and the pick-me's and the Barbara the builders who were the abused as the crown have raised men like this, and then we have to be the ones that are humiliated online. It's okay. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to go. I love you. TikTok, I'll be back tomorrow. If I can't sleep, you might get me back on, chair. But I'm going to go and like just take a little break. Love y'all. I might be back on. YouTube, thank you so much. I've been on here for 2 hours, chair. I didn't get any notifications either, which is absolutely great. I've loved this live. I've loved spending this time with you. Thank you so much. As there's one person on YouTube, and if you are, I don't know if you are, but if you are a survivor that's maybe left, or you're in the periphery and you're thinking, oh, how do I get out, or whatever, just do it. Just do it. Just leave. It will be the best decision you ever make. True life is a roller coaster. Okay. Your enemy, are you back on here? Are you the one who asked me the question about doing the video on the youth pastors? Yeah, so you have just do it, just leave. Life is a roller coaster. And so in these cults, they life map your whole life. So it's like A plus B equals C, 1 plus 2 equals 3. And so true life is about like making mistakes, being on that roller coaster, dating that guy that ends up, do you get what I mean, being a player, or the guy that be's a 304. It's through, hey TJ, it's through your mistakes that you learn. That's how we have self-growth and like we evolve and we ascend, and it's through knowledge, and it's through our mistakes, and it's through learning. And that's essentially how we learn, like in school. Do you know what I mean? That's why people do past test papers, and they look at the areas that they need learning on. So it's absolutely essential when we look at the life cycle of life. So when pastors stunt that and they're telling you what to do and they're mapping out your life, that's a major red flag. So run. All right, YouTube, love you. I'll see you tomorrow. You might get me back on tonight. We'll see. Instagram.